everyone, and welcome to another episode of Out of the Fog. I'm your host, Laurabel, and we have a floss-filled episode ahead for you today. We'll be joined by Lindsey Hynes, who is the owner and instructor on Get Your Freak on Fitness, and also be followed up with Nicole Kielly, who is a dental hygienist. So sit back, relax, and we're going to get rid of a little bit of an anxiety for you today. Welcome back, everyone. I'm now joined by Lindsey Hynes, who is the owner and instructor at Get Your Freak on Fitness. Lindsey, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited to have you here because you and I have meshed in many different fields, and I've been so nosy and so curious about what Get Your Freak on is. So what is Get Your Freak on?
So it's a local fitness company, a very small grassroots. I call it my passion project.
Okay.
Been doing it since 2009. And it's kind of grown and evolved over the years. Of course, the pandemic threw some wrenches and things. But right now, I focus mostly on women and children and their fitness levels. And then what comes with that is their mental health and their social well-being.
So that's so cool. So how do you focus on all of that with your programming?
So, back in the day, Zumba was really popular. So in 2009, I started teaching just Zumba, and it was really, really popular. Like, I might have been teaching twice a day sometimes, and I was working full-time and doing all the things. And then I started teaching kids Zumba.
Yeah.
And I work full-time in the community sector, and I've been working with children since I started my career, and watching children participate in the creativity that dance fitness allows is really rewarding for me as a person, but also it's really enriching for them as well. So the kids fitness obviously is a kind of a sidebar passion too, but I'm very passionate about women and having a safe space for women to participate and let their creativity shine. As we get older, I think we lose a little bit of our spark and our willingness to try new things, and we're always afraid that we might not look right, or we might not be doing the right moves. So in my classes, we really embrace, you don't have to look exactly like me and do exactly what I'm doing. I want you to let your freak flag fly. Do your own version of whatever I'm doing, and that's good too. So that messaging really goes across all the programs that I offer in the company, and with children as well. I say, I'm going to show you a move to a song, and then we always play games at the end. And I say, well, I want you to show me your best moves, because I actually learn from you guys, from the kids, right? And so now I know the floss, and there's this other really unique thing that I think comes from a video game. So I've learned some and then sometimes the teachers look at me a little funny, so I think it might not be a good move for me to do. So I've been learning and navigating very organically through it, but very rewarding. Yeah.
Okay, so one, great that you can do the floss, because I still can, I can floss, but not floss. So that's really great for you. And I know you said that the women's aspect is also one of your passions that's really near and dear to you. So with that, I know you have, under Get Your Freak on Fitness, a separate thing that appeals to women when it comes to dance fitness. So what's that?
So I think it was about 8 years ago now, I traveled to New York, and I became the first Vixen workout instructor in Canada.
Okay.
So Vixen focuses on the mental and physical well-being of women. And so what it is, it's basically it feels like a club. Okay. So, the lights are down low, and then you have your colored lights and maybe some flashing or things like that. And the music is loud, and it's very club vibe. But the music is very top 40. So, and it could be Beyonce to Rick Ross to everything in between. Okay. The founder is Latina, so there is a Latina flair at times. And where it's dance fitness, Laurabel, the difference between, say, somebody who goes to a dance class and to dance fitness, in my opinion, it's much more beginner friendly.
Okay.
So you don't need to have any dance experience to participate in our classes. And I've seen all ages. So we've had a mom-in-law come with the daughter, 70 years old and participate. And while I might be pushing really hard, your version of it is the same. Like, it doesn't matter what you do or how hard you're pushing. If you're moving your body, I'm like, tick, A+. And I say, when you leave, if you're smiling and sweaty and you feel a little bit better than what you did when you came in, then my job is done.
Oh, that is so, okay, yay on
Yeah.
all of that. That's fantastic.
And like, everybody should do some type of movement.
Yeah.
Regardless of their gender, regardless of their age, like, movement is very healthy and contributes to so many parts of our well-being. But I'm a real big advocate for finding what makes you tick.
Yep.
So I love Vixen workout. I love dance fitness. You might not, and that's okay too. So while I would love for everyone to come try a Vixen class and everyone to want to come to my business, I just think it's very powerful for everyone to find something that makes them want to move their body.
Absolutely.
And mine just happens to be with really loud music.
Really good loud music.
Really good loud music, and also, I mean, you're in a room with, say, 15 women.
Yeah.
Men are allowed as well. I say all queens welcome. So if you want to come and you actually want to participate and you love Beyonce or you love like strutting your stuff, you are more than welcome to come. Okay. The vibe and the energy that you get when you're surrounded by like 10 to 15 women who are doing like the Beyonce walk to like some really heavy bass music.
It's a different vibe. Like,
yeah.
I fully understand. Like, I've been talking a lot with my friends about, like, I feel I'm too old for downtown, but I want to go dancing. So clearly I need to get my Vixen on.
Yeah.
And need to show up and like party it out.
Too, like, there's no mirrors, right? Or sorry, there's no windows.
Yeah.
So in the winter, we come in and you just pretend you don't actually live in Newfoundland and Labrador in the wintertime, which has been really helpful.
That is a good check for that, like my vitamin D check-in. So
Exactly. And we do your first class free.
Okay.
So they just have to join the app, which you can find on all of our social media and our website and everything. And you can actually purchase your first class free and check into any class for the first time, and it's my treat. It's a no commitment, try it out, and I don't chase you after for your money.
Yeah.
I love it, and I want everybody to try it, and if it's not for you, like, that's cool too. But there's also a piece of empowerment associated with trying something completely out of your wheelhouse.
Absolutely.
So selfies are encouraged at the end of class. Like, take a selfie and tag us on social media. Strike a pose that you feel like you look amazing in. Yeah. And again, that can look different for everybody. Exactly. So we have very, very loosey-goosey rules. It's very individualized. Yeah. And like Vixen in Miami right now just reopened a studio. So I now have a team of, there's 4 of us in total who are Vixen instructors. And so we have about like 50 active members at all times. Yeah. We offer 5 classes a week. Okay. So as a woman and like our pressures in life say, unfortunately, I can't really commit to, say, a Wednesday night dance class or a commitment for every Wednesday or whatever day of the week. So we offer flexibility. So you can choose any of those classes.
And just show up.
And years ago I started, and it did come from a place of a weight loss piece. Yeah. And that's, it was 2009, I was young, this is what you do, right? You work out. Yep. So that's evolved for myself in my well-being journey. So I no longer work out for any type of a weight loss piece. I feel so good mentally when I finish doing a workout. I feel amazing in Vixen because I'm surrounded by these strong women, letting their stress go of the day or the week or the whatever, the child is home or the husband or the partner is home, and watching them thrive too. So not only do we burn calories, we get nice and sweaty, we let the toxins out of our body, we take care of our mental health, we socialize before and after class, and we empower each other.
See, that's fantastic. I want to go back a little bit for a second to talk about, you and I were chatting before we started filming about the joy you have from working with kids and the fact that you're now doing this really cool thing where you're going into schools. Can we chat about that for a little bit? Yeah,
so, it's a bit of a different spectrum from the Vixen and the Sassy Moms to children, but probably for about 8 years now, I've been doing a local school, a full day, a move-a-thon. So every child in the school moves through in like a 30-minute time slot, and they get to have their time doing some dance fitness. I made a comment. I actually did I did every child in the school for Pink Shirt Day. We did it to celebrate anti-bullying. And I always embed in my messaging parts of how beautiful it is that we're all unique. So when we move our bodies and you look a little different, that's not bad, that's good, because you're unique and so am I, and that's what makes our world beautiful. So I embed these little messages in while they're running around screaming and dancing. And a teacher actually said, she said, you thrive in the madness, and I really, truly do. Like, throw me in a pile of a bunch of screaming children, like, I'm at my best. I do wear a little hands-free microphone, so I can demand the room. And watch it. At the end, we do a game where they can do like a circle dance, and they get in the middle, and they get to do their favorite.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
Now, also, if I did that with a bunch of women,
it's so cool.
But you would have adults go,
yeah,
like,
maybe not.
Right? The kids are like, get out of my way. And I've seen the worm and the hype and like these partner things where they like kick feet.
Okay, I'm not
right? And I learn a lot, and I'm very jealous. And then everybody on the outside, we clap our hands because we need to encourage our friends, right? So I love being able to get these little subliminal messages in that are very important.
Yeah.
And then they get to move their bodies and understand like how, then they go back to class and they're eager to learn, they've gotten the energy out of their bodies. And what also I see a lot in groups, so we do a lot of Sparks and Girl Guides and community groups and community centers. And the leaders will often say to me, Laurabel is usually really quiet and she would never participate. And then I watch the child sit on the out, and then they embed themselves into it midway, and then they get in the circle and do a dance. Like, it could bring tears to your eyes.
Oh. That's so amazing. And you and I could sit and chat for like days on about this and do a little dance class in the middle. But for our viewers watching, where can we find you so we can book our tickets to our first dance or to get you in our kids programming?
So my Facebook and Instagram is Get Your Freak On Fitness, and on Instagram as well as Vixen Army Newfoundland. So send me a message. I'm pretty available and love to explore creative options for our well-being and movement.
Lindsey, you're cool. Before you go, can you bust a move? Like a seated move? Is there like a disco you want to bust before you go?
Oh, well, I'll just embrace my creativity.
Okay.
And we'll do like anything goes, right?
Okay. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been so fun having you.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back, everyone.
Your opinion matters, and we want to hear from you. Get in touch with us using our viewer feedback line, your direct connection to shaping the shows you love. It's easy. Just grab your phone, scan the QR code on your screen, and take our quick survey. Share your thoughts, and let's make your viewing experience even better.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm now joined by Nicole Kielly. Nicole, thank you for joining me.
So happy to be here, Laurabel.
So we're going to be talking all things dental hygiene because, well, this year I promised myself I would up my game on all the things. So dental hygiene is one of the things we're upping our game on. So how did you become a dental hygienist first?
Oh, I actually have a really interesting story that I don't talk about very often.
Okay.
So I have pretty severe dental anxiety, and I started off my career as a dental assistant.
Okay.
Because I think in some weird, twisted way, I thought I could overcome anxiety by immersing myself in the thing.
Exposure therapy.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's funny because it started with having dreams of like losing teeth, and I think everyone can relate to that. Right? So, and then for some reason, I don't know, it's interesting when I look back because I started off as a dental assistant, and then I learned more about dentistry in general and decided that I wanted to go back to school and become a dental hygienist.
Okay, so you did it. You went back to school.
Yeah.
You started your own business.
I did.
And you have been doing some pretty cool stuff since you started your business?
I have.
Okay, so how long ago was it that you started this?
Well, I practiced as a dental hygienist in like a traditional dental hygiene in a dental office for almost a decade.
Oh my gosh.
And then in 2013, legislation changed in Newfoundland that we became self-regulated. So it meant that we could open up our own businesses. Okay. And what that means is just a different model of care. And it also meant flexibility. So I actually started off about 7 years ago now or so. While I was working in private practice, I started going into long-term care. So I started off doing mobile hygiene.
Okay.
And then as I got a taste for doing things on my own, I opened up a little clinic on Logie Bay Road.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you do pretty cool stuff with your clinic, not just the general going in, getting your teeth cleaned. You do a ton of education.
Definitely.
How's that been for you?
Well, one of the benefits of working independently is the flexibility, even just the time alone to go volunteer in a professional capacity. But I have a creative side, and when I first opened up the practice, it gave me this like platform to do that. And one of the things I was passionate about was making the experience interesting, engaging, and also like relaxing. So, and I also created a space that I felt like I was having different conversations, especially around dental anxiety and shame. So I took that information and we started to kind of have this like spa-like vibe. Ooh. Where we do chilled eye treatments, and we just we want to make you look forward to your next appointment.
Okay.
And the other thing we've done is the school presentations. So like you said, I've done the presentations to the schools and now to adults.
Okay.
Which is terrifying because adults, oh my God, adults are so much more intimidating.
See, I would think the children are because like you need to talk them down from their dental anxiety.
Exactly. They used to have such great questions though, and that's what was exciting, was connecting with children outside of the dental setting because they were so much more open to information and really cool discussions.
Okay. So over the course of the time you've been doing this, what has been your most like, I love this moment?
Oh my, can I tell you, Laurabel, we have so many of those.
Okay.
Every day in the office, so I have a team. I have Shannon, who's our front desk and admin, and I also have Toby Stuckless, who is one of the registered dental hygienists who works with us. Every single day, we have amazing experiences with our clients, with our community. We love just having these experiences where people come in and it's, not to be dramatic, but for some people it's life-changing. Like they've put off care for so long, and we're part of helping them get back on the right track.
So for our viewers who are watching who are like, I'm not going, because one, I'm terrified. Two, they've had the nightmares of the teeth falling out situation. What would you like to tell them about what they can expect and experience with you?
So one thing that we really focus on is this place of non-judgment. A lot of people who identify as having anxiety actually aren't afraid of dental pain. It's the fear of being judged, they're embarrassed, and that runs really deep for people. Those are the people we haven't seen in a really long time. So I guess one of my biggest messages is to help through education and through social media. We do a lot of how to get back on track, looking after your teeth and gums, the importance of setting realistic goals. So first, improving their oral health confidence at home by building habits that are actually easy to accomplish. And then the second piece is, if you'd like help getting back on track, we'd love to see you. We book complimentary consults if someone just wants to come in and have a chat. We direct bill insurance. We're open and transparent about fees and the cost of care, and those are some of the barriers that people face. Even the booking, we do online booking, and you can text. You don't even have to talk to anybody if you want help getting back on track.
That is so nice to know, because I know there are a bunch of people who are like, they're afraid of that initial conversation.
Absolutely.
Of when was the last time you were at the dentist, and it's like, it's been a minute, and people are worried about that judgment. So it's so nice to know that you offer this way for people to do it virtually if they're afraid of that conversation. And then the initial consult, just to come in and chat.
Absolutely.
About what
people
it would be.
Find that super helpful to just come in and have a conversation. Even if we also have an appointment type for a consult, if people just want to come in to ask about what they can do at home for brushing. Okay. And a little fact, Laurabel, one thing that we focus a lot on is helping people overcome this like floss shame.
You do have to target.
Since the inception of flossing, humans have had a hard time building a habit. It's not
terrifying.
you. I know, it's hard, right?
It's so scary.
There's other options. So we love working with people to see if maybe a water pick might be a good option or another interdental tool. So flossing, interdental cleaning is important, but flossing isn't your only option. And just because you suck at flossing doesn't mean you suck.
Okay, so thank you for making me feel so much better because like my child loves flossing. I'm so it's nice to know that if flossing the flossing way is not for me, that there are other options for.
There are.
See, I learned something today.
Exactly.
Cool. So over the course of you doing this, you've spoken to tons of kids and tons of adults.
Yeah.
What do you think was the coolest or most aha question you've ever been asked?
Oh, that's a great one. So I have had the opportunity to do some amazing things in my career from a professional perspective. I volunteered in West Africa. I spent a couple weeks there with, actually I don't know how long I was there for, but we were there in Africa. And I've gotten to spend time in Nat-Washish.
Okay.
And one of the conversations that's really interesting is around cavities, especially cavities and sugar.
Okay.
So when I was showing my presentation to a grade 3 and grade 4 class about my experience in Africa, one thing we saw was that there weren't many cavities, despite not having access to care in the community we were in. Mm-hmm. And the conversation was around how if there's no sugar, there's a less chance of cavity. So kids kind of understood that better, that there was more like cracked teeth. And then further to the cavity conversation, we talk a lot about how sugar, people know sugar causes cavities. Like I think that when we think of Halloween, when we think of like candy, what people don't realize is it's not the candy we have to be worried about.
Okay.
What would you think is the most common cavity-causing food amongst children in North America?
Breakfast cereal?
That's a great one.
Okay.
It's actually goldfish crackers.
Are you kidding me?
I know, and I love those little suckers. I know.
Goldfish.
I know, because the idea is it's not just the sugar. I mean, in absence of processed foods, that was more of the lesson from the community we are in Africa. They ate all whole foods, so nothing was processed and refined the way it is here in like North America. And so when you start having that conversation with kids that it's not just sugar, it's the disease process, and having like big conversations with little kids, and they get it, and you're like, why haven't I been taking this approach since the beginning? Because it's the carbohydrates that get broken down into sugar. Fish gets stuck in your teeth. They encourage frequent snacking. Like, so it just extends this like exposure to your teeth.
Goldfish.
I know.
Oh,
and they got those little smiley faces on them and everything.
I knew that rainbow was a
Tricksters.
trickster. That slide underneath the bed. Pepperidge Farm and I are gonna have to have
I know.
But that means that is so cool to know that one, you don't have to rule candy out, but the things that you might not know might be the actual things you might want to keep an eye out.
And it's not about never having those
Of course
things,
not.
right? It's about taking the approach of what are practical ways to prevent cavities, like drinking water throughout the day and after snacks is a really great thing to encourage with children and adults. It helps wash away the sugar and the carbohydrates when brushing isn't possible. So sipping water could help prevent cavities.
Oh my goodness. So, yay, my son Theo, who is a water fiend with all his meals, wicked, that's why he has no cavities.
Yes, exactly.
I am really glad that I got to sit and chat with you. So where can we find you on social media so people know to take advantage of the offerings that you have?
Yeah, so we are super active on Facebook. We love sharing the things that we're doing. Facebook, you guys have the @DH Studio on Facebook. We're also active on Instagram, logiebay.dhstudio. And we fool around a little bit on TikTok, but it's pure foolishness.
Okay.
But that's Saucy Chops on TikTok is our TikTok for foolishness.
For foolishness, okay.
Yeah.
So you got a giant toothbrush.
I do.
You're glowing on every response.
Thank you, Laurabel.
So we know if we're going to look for the best place to overcome our dental anxiety, to begin our care practices, because dental hygiene is part of self-care.
Definitely.
This is the year of self-care.
Absolutely.
Where are we going again?
the Dental Hygiene Studio. And we're in Loki Bay, but we're in the same building as Needs with the Liquor Store Express, and most people know where that is.
Okay. Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you so much for having me, Laurabel. It's perfect.
It's so much fun sharing space and time with you. And I'm going to up my flossing situation now.
Absolutely. Or water picking.
We're going to water pick it because you and I are going to chat about the best water pick for Laurabel.
Definitely.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.
And we'll be right back, everyone.
Your opinion matters, and we want to hear from you. Get in touch with us using our viewer feedback line, your direct connection to shaping the shows you love. It's easy. Just grab your phone, scan the QR code on your screen, and take our quick survey. Share your thoughts, and let's make your viewing experience even better.
I want to give a special thank you to all of you for tuning in yet again, and an extra special thank you to my guests for joining me. Thank you to Lindsey for talking to us about the joy of movement and how it's good not only for our physical health, but our mental health as well. And I want to thank Nicole for coming in and chatting with us about oral hygiene, letting us talk about some of our anxieties around it, letting us know if you're not flossing the old-fashioned way, you can still floss with a water pick. Totally happy to hear that. And if you're looking for the right chance to take the next step in your dental hygiene journey, April is Oral Hygiene Month, so that's a perfect time to reach out to Nicole and her dental studio so you can get right back on track for whatever that means for you. I can't wait to see you all again next time.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
We want to hear from you. Provide feedback on this show or find out how you can get involved. Call, email us, or scan the QR code to take our quick survey.
Thursday on Sportsnet. The wait is finally over.
Here we go.
The Blue Jays are back.
It's go time.
Batter up.